threat of disaster is never pleasant.
Welcome to the Casual Preppers podcast.
These safety measures are essential.
The only place for prepping, survival, and entertainment.
This will be your source of survival instructions and information. Every member of the family must be coached in the business of survival.
Here are your hosts, Cam and Kobe.
Oh man, I got to get myself together. We got a brand new podcast little studio board here, and it has like voice effects on it. And we took about a half hour, and we sounded like chipmunks.
We couldn't stop.
We were
you
dying.
should give them a little taste.
Oh gosh, Cam, we'll never stop. Should we try it?
Yeah, do it a little
bit. Yeah, guys, so it goes without saying, prepping requires forethought. It really does, Cam. You should keep going. Read the whole thing. Might as well. Okay. Self-reliant medical care is no exception. It's not. The Prepper's Medical Handbook by noted wilderness medicine expert and survivalist William W. Forgy provides a basis of prevention, identification, long-term management of survivable medical conditions. Sure. You got to get this book. It's going to teach you medicine in a week, and you're going to be able to do surgery and stuff. That's pretty cool. It's the coolest, dude. And it's not that expensive. No. And you can go and get it at Amazon.com or PreppersMedicalHandbook.com. You are just full of good information today. Absolutely. Wow. Yeah, go get your book. It's like the best book in the world. Faux show.
Holy crap, it's so weird.
I don't know why it's so funny. Everybody's just like,
so
what?
all we can hear is like, it's weird because you can't hear your own voice.
You just hear
and
that.
There's a slight delay with this. So
I tell you, man.
It sounds like I'm speaking, but I'm not.
And you're not. But anyways, William W. Forgy, he has a great book. Go
that
get
book
it.
is fantastic.
You'll like it.
Yeah, it's easy to read, and it goes perfect with all of your other books. I guarantee it.
So Cam, today, this is a fun episode.
It is a fun episode.
I hope it's going to be fun anyways.
I thought so.
Started out great so far.
Yeah, so we wanted to call it the gentleman's UFO.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of, it's back in that time, wearing suits when you go to work. Like,
top hat, probably.
Yeah, just look real good. It kind of has that steampunk to it.
That's kind of what
I think is really cool.
Yeah.
And that's very classy.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
We're going to talk about airship sightings. I had no idea that there were.
I think we actually mentioned this a long time
really?
ago.
I don't even remember talking about it. But anyways, cool stuff. Like maybe you play BioShock or something like that.
Yeah, but this is very BioShock-ish.
Yeah.
Right?
Because these sightings of these airships were described very much like that. Like they had like paddle wheels or like steamboat engine stuff. And, you know, maybe guys wearing one monocular that's all like
that like
copper
all
plated
comes out or something.
Yeah. So, but mystery airships, phantom airships, are a class of unidentified flying objects, so they are a UFO.
Yeah.
Best known for their from a series of newspaper reportings originating in the western United States and spreading east during the 1896 and early 1897. That's where the bulk of them are.
Yeah.
But sightings have happened between 1880s and 1890s in other places too. And we'll try and hit on some of the best.
Yeah.
Some pretty funny stories. But
I don't know why, like this, I've never heard about this that much.
Me either.
Like, why hasn't anybody talked about
covered
this?
Up.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because it kind of goes obviously along with like technology and the time frame. It's
sure
like,
does, yeah.
Flying saucers would have blown their freaking minds.
Oh, geez.
And they don't even know how to describe it. So they're just like, it looks like a blimp, but it's got all this special stuff on it.
Yeah.
So it has been frequently argued that mystery airships are unlikely to represent test flights of real human manufactured dirigibles. Did I say that? I've never
dirigibles. I don't know.
Never ever used that word.
There's a couple of words in this one. I'm like, how do you say that?
I'm not a gentleman. I don't have this kind of education. As no record of successful, sustained, or long-range airship flights are known from the period, and it would have been impossible, not to mention irrational, to keep such things a secret.
Yeah.
The thing is weird. Like, I think blimps are the weirdest thing in the world anyway.
Dude.
Like a big old floating balloon covered in like
why we
metal.
still have them today is what weirds me out. Like, what on earth are we still doing with blimps?
It's like we are way above that. There's drones that can fly and do all kinds of
let's just do a gigantic balloon. Like, gigantic.
Goodyear's like, don't let it go. We want to keep
a
it.
little tiny thing at the bottom. That's where we'll sit in.
I know.
It's like, what?
just like seeing pictures of World War II and them all like at this,
that's pretty
on
ominous,
D-Day,
though. Think
I'm
about
like,
that.
So weird.
Think if you're a soldier and you see like a big ass blimp coming across. You're just like, oh god,
that's true.
That's creepy.
She's gonna drop a bunch of bombs.
Yeah, that's scary. Spooky, scary. Werewolf bar mitzvah. Anyways.
However, there were in fact several functional airships manufactured before the 1896-1897 reports. Solomon Andrews made the successful test flight of his Arion.
1866.
Aaron.
That's weird. 1863?
It's a long time ago.
Wow.
But their capabilities were far more limited than the mystery airships.
Yep.
These ones were complex.
Oh yeah, these suckers. Woo.
Yeah. Reese and others noted that the contemporary American newspapers of the yellow journalism era were more likely to print manufactured stories and hoaxes than are the modern news sources.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Maybe.
The editors of the late 1800s often would have expected the reader to understand that such stories were false.
Yeah, we'll
So
talk
he
about this
explains,
a little more.
This
That's
is
crazy.
so far-fetched, they're going to just take it as a joke. Nowadays, that doesn't happen.
No, but that's
still.
just crazy that was a thing. We'll
I know.
talk about it a
That
little
is
bit more.
really weird.
But like, now we just put fake stories in.
Yeah.
You figure it out.
Yeah.
What? Why?
Yeah. Which didn't go over well with like War of the Worlds.
No. That was see, that one wasn't even
That
a
was
news story.
isolated. Yeah, it was more of a radio program, huh?
Yeah, it was a radio program. That's super
But
fascinating.
still,
I want to
like,
do an
think if
episode on
people
that
will
one day.
catch on. I do too. That one was really good. Most journalists of the period did not seem to take the airship reports very seriously, as after the major 1896-97 wave concluded, the subject quickly fell from the public consciousness.
Yeah.
The airship stories received further attention only after 1896-97 newspaper reports were largely rediscovered in the mid-60s.
That's crazy. So
I know.
like 60
It's
years
like,
later.
just brush them off.
Yeah.
It never happened. It was just a weird time. But they started to like really dig into them when UFOs became bigger and post-World War II UFO sightings and things like that. So pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. So basically where this came from, November 18th, 1896. This was kind of the first sighting. And the Sacramento Bee and the San Francisco Call reported this. They say the witnesses reported a light moving slowly over Sacramento on the evening of November 17th.
It's creepy.
Oh my gosh.
Lights
Can you
don't
imagine?
move back then. There's no planes.
No. Yeah, there's nothing.
So it's like, what is that?
What is happening? So
Big firefly.
it was 1,000 foot in elevation is where they said they saw it.
Give or take.
Give or take, I don't know. Some witnesses say they could see a dark shape behind the light. So like there was a light, but it was attached to something is kind of what they were saying, right? So November 19th, 1896 edition of the Stockton, California Daily Mail featured one of the earliest accounts of an alleged alien craft sighting. Colonel H.G. Shaw.
H.G. Shaw.
H.G. Shaw. He claimed that while driving his buggy through the countryside near Stockton, he came across what appeared to be a landed spacecraft. So it was like on the ground. Shaw described it as having a metallic surface which was completely featureless apart from a rudder and pointed ends.
Ooh.
It's not really the best description. It's pointed, it's metal, it's got a rudder. Okay.
Gotcha.
Gotta figure it out.
Anything else?
The diameter was 25 feet and the vessel was around 150 feet in total length. So it was big boy.
That's a big boy.
Wasn't just a little one. Here's where it gets nuts. 3 slender, 7 foot tall, apparent extraterrestrials were said to approach from the craft while emitting a strange warbling noise.
Is warbling used anywhere but with, is it ever used outside of like UFOs and extra?
Not much though.
Warbling.
Yeah, it's like just warbling. What do you think they were saying? Well, I mean, it's just like a noise, do you think? I don't know. I just weird. Right? Yeah. The beings reportedly examined Shaw's buggy. So looked at his buggy. Oh, cool.
And those new wheels.
They had the new Model T. I mean, what kind of buggy did they have back then?
Good one.
1896, I don't know. And then tried to physically force him to accompany them back to the airship. So they were just like physically taking him back to their thing. But
wow.
The aliens were said to give up after realizing they lacked the physical strength to force Shaw aboard.
He's a tough dude, huh?
I know. This is what I was imagining him saying. Hell, I was state halfback 2 years in a row. No slender Mars man could get me in their ship. You know, that's probably what he said to the paper.
I ain't going with you, boys.
Nah,
Big,
boy.
slender, weak.
I got to get this buggy downtown. What do you think? I'm just going to go to Mars with you on your blimp ship.
You want to race? Zip.
Get that blimp ship up in the air.
Come on, Walt.
Yeah. Old Bessie, she can beat you any day of the week.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't know that. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm too tough.
Too tough. Couldn't get me. 3 of them. 7
3.
foot tall.
No muscle. Just
Yeah.
leanness.
I guess. Just lean, mean, flying
Green
Martian
machine.
machines. Warbling machines.
So this is, a lot of these other reports we'll talk about.
Yeah,
how
so
they're
that
more
one-
humanoid.
So that one was basically they're thinking is the first published account of like an explicitly extraterrestrial beings attempting to kidnap humans and take them away.
That's the beginnings.
So that's crazy.
I kind of find it like pretty fascinating and creepy too. Like thinking of that era and just like a blimp, like a light in the dark. Like I don't know. It sounds kind of cool. I do
really
kind of
does
like
sound
that,
cool.
like that style. Here's another one.
Okay.
The mystery light reappeared over Sacramento on the evening of November 21st, 1896.
So this was like just a couple days later.
Yeah, it was also seen over Folsom, San Francisco, Oakland, Modesto, Manteca, Sebastopol. I don't know.
That's not
Is that
real.
still there anymore?
That ain't a real
And several
city.
other cities later that same evening, and was reportedly viewed by hundreds of witnesses. I
Okay.
did not find any of these other 100 witnesses.
Could
let's
not corroborate this.
Yeah, let's just say that happened. One witness from Arkansas, allegedly a former state senator. I know there was nothing else that happened with that, I guess.
Was he in Arkansas or just from Arkansas and saw this?
One witness from Arkansas.
Okay.
Allegedly.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's got to be in Sacramento
I would
area,
think
right?
so, yeah.
Was supposedly told by an airship pilot during
Oh.
the tensions leading up to the Spanish-American War. The craft was bound for Cuba
Oh.
to use its Hotchkiss gun and kill Spaniards.
We're going to kill these Spaniards with a Hotchkiss gun.
Hey, Senator Harris, we're heading out there. We're going to kill some Spaniards. Look at this Hotchkiss gun, huh?
Heck yeah.
Just flies off. In one account from Texas always has some good reports.
Oh, they do, man.
3 men reported an encounter with an airship and with 5 peculiarly, oh my gosh, that's a tough
That's
one.
a tough one, yeah.
Dressed men who asserted they were descendants of the lost tribes of Israel and who
is
had
the
learned English from the 1553 North Pole expedition led by Hugh Willoughby.
What?
It's such a weird, man, this had to have been like Mormons or something.
All right, it's like, how would you come up with that story? Listen, okay, we met some guys.
Yeah,
How we
they
gonna-
were in an airship.
Yeah, they had an airship. That's a good one. Let's write that down.
Yeah.
We got an airship, and they were dressed peculiarly,
Peculiar.
right? And they were from the Lost Tribes of Israel. Yeah.
That's the
a good
weirdest
one.
thing to throw in there.
Wait. But they spoke English. How did they speak English, though?
Well,
Wait.
everybody knows most people learned English from the 1553 North Pole expedition.
Oh, that old Hugh Willoughby. Yeah, that's how we'll explain it.
So weird.
Gosh.
that was
so
a weird
crazy.
one.
Yeah, it is weird.
On February 2nd, 1897, the Omaha Bee, everybody's just a bee,
Yeah.
reported an airship sighting over Hastings, Nebraska the previous day. So sightings in different places.
Sure,
Not a
yeah.
lot of story with some of these. An article in the Albion Weekly, which is Fable, I think, a game,
I don't know.
reported that 2 witnesses saw an airship crash just inches from where they were standing.
How does it crash inches from like
Hey,
the huge airship
it's a miracle.
crashed
Well,
inches?
that's why this is different.
Oh, okay.
The airship suddenly disappeared with a man standing where the vessel had been. I like this
it's
one.
a transformer.
The airship pilot showed the man a small device that supposedly enabled him to shrink the airship small enough to store the vessel in his pocket.
Oh man!
So he just like lands. He's like, "Boop." That's my ship right there.
Look at that. Push that button.
I can
see what
take it
happens.
into town and go right back out. How nice would that be?
Right here in my breast
You're
pocket.
like, "Ah, where do I park here at Walmart? Just get out, whoop,
Yeah.
put it in your pocket, go in
Yeah.
and buy some stuff, come out, turn it back in.
That's EDC right there.
That is.
You know?
It's an EDC airship.
Yeah. Wow.
That was pretty cool. So, anyways,
Push the
that's why
button,
they
see
didn't
what
get hurt.
happens.
He crashed. He didn't really crash. He just landed rough, turned it right into a little
Landed
vessel.
rough. Make sure to take it out of your pocket before you hit the button. Otherwise, it's a problem.
Yeah, you got to stand back about 250 yards. Then you hit your button.
You got to be careful. This ain't a toy.
This is ahead of its time, but hey.
Ain't no Hotchkiss
I'm going to show
gun.
you guys. Look at this little.
Ain't no Hotchkiss gun, but it'll get a job done.
I call it a Polly Pocket. You like that?
Micro machine transformer.
That's where the word first came from.
Yeah.
A rival newspaper, the Wilson Review, playfully claimed that its own editor, an additional witness to the incident, was an additional witness, and that he heard the pilot say, "We've wrecked roof Erbiscus." And the phrase he allegedly heard is "subscribe for the review" spelled backwards.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They're like, "Oh, it's German?" No, it just subscribe for the review backwards, which is kind of weird. April 10th, 1897, the St. Louis Post-Dispatch published a story reporting that one W.H. Hopkins. Everybody sounds like a writer back then.
I know.
Encountered a grounded airship about 20 feet in length and 8 feet in diameter near the outskirts of Springville, Missouri. The vehicle was apparently propelled by 3 large propellers, and crewed by a beautiful nude woman and bearded man, also nude.
Oh, man.
Hopkins attempted, with some difficulty, to communicate with the crew in order to ascertain their origins. Hey, you two!
Hey, you with the ding dong out. What's your name?
Show us you already are.
You guys got a Hotchkiss gun up there?
Nice Hotchkiss gun, buddy.
You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying.
Eventually, they didn't respond to it.
Yeah.
Eventually, they understood what Hopkins was asking of them, and they both pointed to the sky and uttered something that sounded like word Mars. And then
Mars. That's all they could say.
Mars.
or Mars.
I just love how he's like uttered something. Sounded kind of like Mars.
Could have been Mars. Could have been bars. Could have been Lars. Could have been Fars. I don't know.
He's just like with the naked woman. He's like Mars, and up they went and away.
Hey-ya.
Anyways, that's a good story.
Sure.
April 15th, near Kalamazoo, Michigan, there were reports that the airship had crashed and exploded. Another one. They declare the report to have been like that of heavy ordnance and to have been immediately succeeded by a distant sound of projectiles flying through the air, like it got shot down or something. On April 16th, I don't know. They didn't go and find it. They didn't find anything about it. They just witnessed a crash.
There are several of the stories that are kind of weird
just
like
end
that.
right. They just end. I witnessed a crash, fireball, bunch of debris.
Yeah,
went home that night.
I had to go. I was going to be late for dinner. I had to go home.
The horses were startled. I had to get home.
It's my daughter's birthday. I couldn't go find a UFO ship. Okay.
I was looking for a nude woman on an airship.
Yeah.
Didn't find one.
Bearded man with a ding-a-ling hanging out. Said Mars. That's it. What else do you need?
How much more you need from this report?
My gosh, I got things to do.
Write it down. I'm out of here.
Don't put my name on that, by the way.
Just do WH. I don't want to know my first name.
No, William Hank. William
I
Hank.
want my family to be ashamed of me. Cover up.
My wife will know I saw that naked lady, and I'll never hear the end of it.
That's probably why.
Yeah.
Yeah, she ain't gonna believe me.
She gonna be pissed. Do not say a word.
I added the man in there at the
I'm gonna go get her
now to make it normal.
I'm gonna go get some flowers for her just in case. I don't know.
I already feel in trouble.
I'm already in trouble. You dumb bastard, get out of here.
I already wasted too much time. April 16th, 1897, a story published by the Table Rock Argus.
I'd read that.
Yeah, claimed that a group of anonymous but reliable witnesses had seen.
Always.
Who knows who they are, but they're reliable.
Oh, these guys, they're good boys. Don't worry.
They're police.
Can't tell you their name.
Witnessed that they had seen an airship sailing overhead. The craft had many passengers. The witnesses claimed that among these passengers was a woman tied to a chair.
Oh, okay.
And a woman attending her, and a man with a pistol guarding their apparent prisoner.
Oh, crap.
Before the witness thought to contact authorities, airship gone.
I didn't think of contacting
So this
anybody.
one's very different.
Yeah.
One with a naked woman and guy, and this one, they're holding a woman hostage.
Jeez, man.
Who knows what's going on up there in
How
the
about
skies.
this? This is an account from Aurora, Texas, another Texan one, related in the Dallas Morning News, April 19th, 1897. A couple days before, an airship had smashed into a windmill, later determined
Makes sense.
to be a sump pump. I don't know like how they got that figured up. Nah, that wasn't no windmill. That is sump pump.
Very different.
Yeah, and they must have like sump pumps that
They were belt driven by.
Yeah, but it was belonged to Judge Proctor, and it crashed. This came from another article talking
What
about
was
the same thing.
the sub pump was belonged to him or the?
Yeah.
Okay.
sump pump slash windmill. Yeah. From another article, it said, it sailed over the public square, and when it reached the north part of town, it collided with the tower of Judge Proctor's windmill and went into pieces with a terrific explosion, scattering debris over several acres of ground, wrecking the windmill and water tank, and destroying the judge's flower garden. Flower garden went down, unfortunately. The occupant was dead and mangled, but the story reported that the presumed pilot was clearly not an inhabitant of this world. So they actually had an alien. Is what they're saying. Yeah. Strange hieroglyphic figures were seen on the wreckage, which resemble a mixture of aluminum and silver, and must have weighed several tons. In the 20th century, usual metallic material recovered from the presumed crash site was shown to contain a percentage of aluminum and iron admixed. The story ended by noting that the pilot was given a Christian burial in the town's cemetery. They just buried the UFO, the alien. They just had a freaking
where is this marked?
Funeral
Dig
form.
him up. Do some bones.
Okay, yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
So from a local paper, Mr. T.J. Weems, the U.S. Army Signal Service officer at the place and authority on astronomy, gives it as his opinion that the pilot was a native of planet Mars. So this is in the paper.
Yeah.
And they said, papers found on his person, evidently the records of his travels, are written in some unknown hieroglyphics and cannot be deciphered. The ship was too badly wrecked to form any conclusion as to its construction or motive of power. It was built of an unknown metal resembling somewhat a mixture of aluminum and silver.
Shiny.
Yep. It must have weighed several tons. The town today is full of people who are viewing the wreckage and gathering specimens of strange metal from the debris. So they just let the townsfolk go grab it.
Pulling tin off there.
It's just like
This will work good for our oven, honey.
It's like a Black Friday sale at
It's a
Walmart.
cookie sheet.
It's cookie sheet.
Make all kinds of stuff with
Start
that.
fire with this, maybe.
Honey, we can repair the ox shed with this.
Yeah. Maybe we can fix old windmill up there that it broke with this. I don't
Christmas is coming. Kids are going to love this metal.
know. Yeah. Give them each a little piece. Throw it around the yard.
Just bang on it.
Yeah.
And make it sound like thunder.
Whoa. Yeah. And use it as a sled in the winter. I don't know.
Yeah, they got all kinds of.
Yeah.
You know, grab a couple extra pieces.
Grab one for me. I might like
So
it.
they just buried the pilot and then just disassembled the wreckage.
Yeah.
Didn't report it to really anybody.
And so it actually had like a gravestone and everything, and they had a funeral for it. So in 1973, MUFON, so the Mutual UFO Network, the investigators discovered the alleged stone marker used in the burial. This is like in 1973. So like how many years later? When was this?
It's almost 100
1897.
years later. 85 years later or something.
Their metal detectors indicated a quantity of foreign material that might remain buried there. So, however, they were not permitted to exhume. So they tried to get permission. They finally got permission to exhume it. And when they returned several years later, the headstone and whatever metallic material had been laying beneath it was gone.
So they detected it,
Yeah.
went back to get it, and it was gone.
It was gone.
That's kind of crazy.
Isn't that nuts? I'd
That's
never
cool.
heard. How have I never heard a story like this?
That's a great story.
It's insane.
It's a very good mystery.
Yeah. Whew, I don't know, man.
Man, that's a good one. Man, I wish I lived in a town like that. They just like everybody by name. It's like, oh, hell, that's Judge Proctor's windmill's on fire.
Yeah, I know.
Like everybody knows everybody.
Old Doc Hardy, that's on his street.
Man, that's just down there
Yeah.
over by the Coon Rat's old place.
That's Coonrat Sr., not the Junior.
Yeah.
Kid's
They
an
all
idiot.
live right behind each other.
Yeah.
An account by Alexander Hamilton.
So is this like the president?
Yeah.
Alexander
It
Hamilton?
never says. But
Never says.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Of Leroy, Kansas. I don't think he's from there.
1897. Probably not Alexander Hamilton.
Supposedly, everybody named their kid Alexander Hamilton.
Yeah. Every Hamilton's got an Alexander in their family.
Yep. It's like Utah. Everybody's got a Joseph and
And a Nephi.
and Hiram.
Lehigh.
Supposedly, or Brigham. There's always
Brigham.
Brigham.
There's always a Brigham. Yeah.
Yep. Supposedly occurred around April 19th, 1897, and was published in the Yates Center Farmer's Advocate
Yeah.
of April 23. It's a good book.
Oh,
It's a good
love it.
It's a
Love
good
it.
one. Hamilton, his son, and a tenant witnessed an airship hovering over his cattle pen.
Gosh dang it.
Upon closer examination, the witnesses realized that a red cable from the airship had lassoed a heifer. Love that. But had also become entangled in the pen's fence. It's like,
Dang it.
Give it more wind power.
Dally off. We got to pull this one pretty
Extend
good.
the lightning rods. We got to pull this heifer up.
Full power ahead. Full Mars power.
After trying, take your clothes off. We got to shed some weight.
Wiggle your ding dong around. Maybe that'll help.
Add some wind power.
Wind power.
Called the helicopter.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist yet.
Judge Proctor's watching.
After trying unsuccessfully to free the heifer, Hamilton cut loose a portion of the fence and then stood in amazement to see the ship, cow, and all rise slowly and sail off.
Oh man, heifer! I had to say this because it just reminded me of it. When I was in high school, I had a biology teacher who called all the girls heifers in the class. I don't know why I just thought about that, but now I just think about it. Yeah, all you heifers, come over
A
here.
teacher did?
Yeah, every time he talked about women,
Stuff
girls.
that could not go.
No,
today.
all them heifers over there.
Oh my
anyways.
gosh, that's awesome.
The heifers are going to grade the papers. Anyways, move on.
So here this is the hired hands report.
Oh, yeah.
The Yates Center Farmers Advocate printed the story last Monday night about 10:30. Said Mr. Oh no, this is Hamilton. I thought it was his little helper guy. We were awakened by a noise among the cattle. I rose, thinking that perhaps my bulldog was performing some of his pranks.
What? What kind of dog performs pranks?
This bulldog. But upon
He keeps
going
putting
he's been putting dog poop in a bag on my porch.
lighting her on fire.
It's driving me nuts.
So you put cellophane on the toilet last night.
And it looks like all the cows are dead. That bulldog's up to no good again.
Pranking away.
But upon going to the door, saw to my utter astonishment Airship slowly descending upon my cow lot, about 40 rods from the house.
I don't know, he's about 40 rods east.
a bunch of rods. This is like his measurements are his own.
Let me grab my rod real quick. I'll tell you how far out she was.
You ain't gonna believe it, but
I gotta count 40.
I laid it down, walked to the end, picked it up, put it down again.
Yep, 40
That's
rods.
40 rods easy. Calling my tenant, Gid Hislop, and my son Walt, we seized some axes and ran to the corral. Meanwhile, the ship had been descending until it was not more than 30 feet. Now he's using above the ground.
Or 4 rods.
And we came within 50 yards. Feet, yards, and rods.
Oh my
using
gosh.
them all.
What's the one they use in the Bible all the time?
Oh, yeah, what is it?
With the measurement? Now I
forget.
can't think of
It's
it.
been a long time.
Yeah, I hadn't read the Bible in a few years.
It consisted of a great cigar-shaped portion, possibly 300 feet long, with a carriage underneath. The carriage was made of glass or some other transparent substance, alternating with a narrow strip of some material. It was brilliantly lighted within, and everything was plainly visible. It was occupied by 6 of the strangest beings I ever saw. They were jabbering together, but we could not understand a word they said.
All them heifers are up there talking in that thing.
Probably talking about my cows.
My buddy Gid, my son Walt.
Get
Get up.
Get over here.
Get up. Get over here.
Every part of the vessel which was not transparent was a dark reddish color. We stood mute with wonder and fright when some noise attracted their attention and they turned. I feel like he's at the bar telling this story.
Oh, he is. Guarantee it.
Their attention and turned the light directly upon us. Swung that spotlight around. Immediately on catching sight of us, they turned on some unknown power and a great turbine wheel about 30 feet in diameter, which was slowly revolving below the craft, began to buzz, and the vessel rose as lightly as a bird. When about 300 feet above us, it seemed to pause and hover directly over a 2-year-old heifer.
Well, that
which
heifer
was
weren't no
bawling
more than
and
2
jumping.
years old.
Which was bawling and jumping, apparently fast in the fence. Going to her, we found a cable about half an inch thickness made of some red material, fastened a slip knot around her neck.
Jeez.
He was going to pick it up by its neck.
The devil's rope. That's what Gid called it.
One end passing. Look, got a rope burn from right here, boys. Everybody look at that. Yeah. Going to her, we've I already said that. Let me get another drink. Round all me, boys.
Okay.
Okay. We tried to get it off, but we could not. So we cut the wire loose and stood in amazement to see the ship, heifer and all, rise slowly disappearing in the northwest.
The heifer? Well, I thought they cut the rope loose.
They cut the fence loose.
Oh, the fence.
So it pulled up the
I see.
heifer. They saw it disappearing in the northwest. We went home, but I was so frightened I could not sleep. Rising early Tuesday, I started out by horse, hoping to find some trace of my cow. This I failed to do, but coming back in the evening, found that Link Thomas.
Oh my gosh, Link?
Yeah,
is
cool.
his name?
About three or so miles west of Leroy, and had found the hide, legs, and head in the field that day. He, thinking someone had butchered a stolen beast, had brought the hide to town for identification, but was greatly mystified in not being able to find any tracks in the soft ground.
I don't know, Mr. Hamilton, but this might be the remnants of your 2-year-old heifer.
Did you say you're missing a heifer? I got bad news for you.
I got bad news. Good news for the leather worker in town.
I came across a heifer this morning. Just the skin and the head.
Yeah.
But every time I would drop to sleep, I would see the cursed thing, and it was in its big lights and hideous people.
Yeah.
I don't know whether they were devils or angels or what, but we all saw them. My whole family saw the ship, and I don't want any more to do with them. That was a long story, but it was a good one.
The part that I think you skipped it, is
this
my
like the earliest
favorite. In 1982, however, UFO researcher Jerome Clark debunked this story and confirmed via interviews.
I left it out on purpose.
Oh, did you?
No.
And Hamilton's own affidavit that the story was a successful attempt to win a Liars Club competition to create the most outlandish tall tale.
But it was during
hilarious.
that time. Maybe he had heard
Maybe
of the ones in the Northwest or something. But
it's pretty hilarious.
It's a pretty good story.
Oh, for sure.
And
for
so,
sure.
yeah, him and Link and Gib scared to death.
Leroy.
I think they conjured it up and they're just like freaked out from then on about their own story.
Scared themselves.
Holy crap. That really happened, didn't it?
This is like my one daughter at one point was telling scary stories in the dark and freaking scared herself so bad.
That's so funny.
You know what
It's
I
when
mean?
the kids do that. They start
know.
talking, they get all freaked out.
Yeah.
They're like, I scared myself.
So, guys, we live in a mad, mad world. It's in constant change. There is no time like today to prepare for the uncertainties of tomorrow. And nothing prepares you for what's to come like proper nutrition. Whether you're adventuring, exploring, passing down traditions, or simply being smart and keeping your priorities and plans in order. It's all the same. Introducing Nutrient Survival, top shelf, delicious, special ops grade nutrition designed to the nutritional standards of the U.S. military, but intended for people just like us. Made with real ingredients, made in America to keep Americans healthy, strong, and alert. Perfect for today and ready for anything ahead. Cam was making some of this weekend, weren't you?
I did.
Was it this weekend you were doing
Yep.
that?
Some triple
Great
max,
stuff, man.
testing some out.
Yeah.
I love their little packaging. Like,
The on-the-go packs are so awesome.
yeah. And I think you can get a sampler now and they give you a free one too. And like of all those little pouches.
But use our code instead of that. Use our code.
Well, you
Casual
should probably
Preppers.
get that too
I don't
with our
think
code,
you
don't
do.
you? Oh, you
No.
don't? Sons of...
I know.
Just kidding.
Just get the 10% off with
Yeah,
our code.
do it. It's friggin' amazing.
Yeah, they've got such good stuff, and it's super high quality, and it has 40 essential nutrients.
Yeah.
That's where it comes down to. That's where the rubber meets the road, my friend.
Right.
So head over to
You can
Nutrient
tell
Survival.
even the packaging's better than
Oh, yeah.
all those
Gosh.
other ones.
Use our code CASUALPREPPERS. You're going to get 10% off your order at nutrientsurvival.com.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, my kids were passing them around with their eyes shut, trying to decide what was inside.
Uh-huh.
They're like,
Oh, gosh.
I had some laying out, and they were like, macaroni, flour, powdered eggs. I was like, nice job, guys.
Nice.
So anyway, another report real quick is the most detailed report of the evening. I don't know what that came from.
I don't either.
R.L. Lowry, a
Oh.
former street railway employee.
I died on a railroad. I work on a
I've
railroad
been working on a railroad.
all the with one day.
Who said he heard a voice from above call, throw her up higher. She'll hit the steeple.
He's
I don't know.
Irish.
They're
apparently.
Irish. When he looked up and saw two men seated on bicycle-like frames pedaling.
Oh,
That's what's so awesome. Lowry further described the craft as being powered by two men exerting themselves on bicycle pedals.
That makes sense.
Above them was a cigar-shaped body of some length. a passenger compartment of sorts, and Lowry said that the thing also had wheels at the sides that were like an old steamboat.
Oh, okay.
The
That
light
makes
was
sense.
mounted on the front of the airship, so, spotlight. Some witness reported the sound of singing as the aircraft passed overhead.
That ain't creepy.
Yeah, no.
Bicycle boys in the sky screaming or singing.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I wonder what they were singing.
I don't know.
Nearer, my God.
I don't know.
Yeah. The story was in the newspaper the next day. Claim they saw a flying airship. Strange tale of Sacramento men not addicted to prevarication.
Prevarication? Oh,
Viewed an aerial courser as it passes over the city at night. What was it?
Aerial courser. Are they just trying to confuse people?
Yeah, they are. Put
really
a bunch of
interesting.
weird words in there and freak people out.
So one San Francisco attorney nicknamed Airship Collins claimed that
Hey, I know everything about them.
they call me Airship Collins. I don't know.
I know so much about them. I'm nicknamed Airship.
You guys talking about airships? Well, you guys are in luck. Let me tell you, they call me Airship Collins. Anyway,
You know who's going to know about this? Airship
we ought to
Collins.
call him down to the pub and let him give us some information because, anyways, he's a San Francisco attorney. He claimed he was representing the eccentric and wealthy inventor who had constructed the thing at a secret location, Oroville, just 60 miles north of Sacramento.
But yet his nickname was Airship.
Yeah. I know
I
the guy.
work for him. I nick my name myself. Airship Collins.
Yeah, he calls me Airship Collins. If you guys want us to call me that too, that's fine.
I think it's just throw people off on what he's doing.
He's clever. Clever son of a bee.
Did you just say Airship? Oh, yeah, that's my assistant. Yeah.
That's old Collins, Airship Collins, I call him. According to Collins, the airship was 150 feet long and could carry 15 passengers. It was built on the aeroplane system, whatever that means, and has 2 canvas wings, 18 feet wide and a rudder shaped like a bird's tail. I saw the thing ascend about 90 feet under perfect control. When the mysterious inventor never appeared, Collins found himself the object of ridicule, and he backed off his earlier claims. So old Airship Collins was just a liar.
He's blown out.
Just a friggin' liar. That's all he was. Another San Francisco attorney took his place, though, claiming that there was not
attorneys.
not one airship, but 2, and they would be used to bomb Havana. William Henry Hart.
Of all the places to bomb.
They're going to bomb Havana, I guarantee it. William Henry Hart, a former attorney general, stated,
Just riding by with his wife in a buggy. He can bomb Havana, I guarantee you, honey.
I'll tell you what,
World's going to hell.
Airship Collins don't know crap. Let me tell you what.
He tried to tell him. He tried to tell him. Come on, girl.
William Henry Hart, former attorney general, stated, "From what I have seen of it, I have not the least doubt that it will carry 4 men and 1,000 pounds of dynamite."
That's the perfect voice to use. Isn't it?
No, Hart's airship was never made public either, and by early December, the lawyer as well as the lights in the sky had disappeared from the scene.
Screws, they ain't ready for this bomber.
Never mind, we'll bring it
Flew
back
off.
in the old 1900s, probably.
Probably make a kid show called Rescue Rangers, something like that.
Ch-ch-ch-ch
Wasn't that a little
Chippendales.
airship?
Yeah.
Charles Fort cited a mystery airship sighting in Copiapo, Chile. It was described as a gigantic, shining. Oh yeah, I should say it more like. Hey, he was described as a. I can't do it. Can't do the Mexican.
That's all right.
I might. He was described as a gigantic shining bird driving by a noisy motor. That's all it said.
It's super crazy, bro.
He's like a bird, a shining bird with a noisy motor, man.
In the sky, very high. It's from Mars, probably.
It's pretty crazy, eh?
I think it's going to Havana, probably.
His name was Charles Fort, though, in Chile. That's weird.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He might be just hanging out there.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't have that accent, man. In a variation of the
Maybe he's
usual-
Italian, huh?
Maybe
In the Chile.
Maybe. In a variation of a usual airship on July 29th, 1880, 2 witnesses in Louisville, Kentucky, saw a flying object described as a man surrounded by machinery which he seemed to be working with his hands. Something. With wings protruding from its back. Merely a month later, a similar sighting happened in New Jersey. It was written at the New York Times that it was apparently a man with bat's wings and improved frog's legs. The monster waved its wings in answer to a whistle of a locomotive.
that bat frogman's talking to the train.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's a mix of about everything there. So anyway, if you ever see that flying through the
Bat wings, frog legs, answers to whistles.
Answers to whistles the locomotive. Like,
yeah, that's a good one.
it's just following along the locomotive.
So now we move into the 1900s, 1909 to 1913. There were a series of mystery airship sightings in 1909 in New England, New Zealand, and various European locations. Later reports even came from the United Kingdom. This is in 1912 and 1913. However, by this time, airship technology was well advanced. Count Ferdinand von Zeppelin, that's crazy that was actually his name.
I know.
Had been flying his massive passenger-carrying airships for nearly a decade by then, making the prospect that these may have been a small private airships rather than evidence of extraterrestrial visitation or newspaper hoaxes more reasonable. I know. Not as interesting. Wallace Tillinghast, of a Massachusetts businessman, gained notoriety for claims he was responsible for the 1909 wave due to an airship he had built, but his claims were never substantiated.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I'll tell you, if anybody can be one of those,
it's old Wallace.
it's old Wallace Tillinghast.
That old man Tillinghast, he's got the skills.
He's a weird
He's just
son of a-
crazy enough to do it. You know, a report from Watahaki held that the machine was being operated by a woman.
Yeah.
And the observer thought his satanic majesty or Beelzebub had something to do with his traveler in the lower stratum of
That
ether.
is weird. It's like Beelzebub.
Yeah, Beelzebub had something to do with this traveler in the lower stratum of ether.
Okay.
All right.
That is good.
That's a good quote.
In
right there.
Farmersville, an eyewitness saw 3 men in the cabin and heard singing, "Nearer My God to Thee."
No, that's why I thought you were singing it.
I should have. The trio, I didn't even know. That's
Oh,
weird.
really? It must have just been like in your subconscious.
Titanic. Yeah. The trio reportedly also was passing out temperance tracts. Okay.
What's that?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's my CD.
You can find us on MySpace.
See ya.
Nearer My God to Thee, our new single.
The way you said it's like not a big deal.
Yeah.
Nearer My God to Thee. New single track.
New single. Remix version.
Is that a train I hear?
Frog legs jump.
Boys, let's go.
I see the bat signal.
As we might expect, not all North Texans were convinced of the authenticity of the reports. In Enos, I guess that's a town.
Yeah.
Dr. E. Stewart,
Oh.
an acknowledged authority in metaphysics,
Metaphysics?
passed off the reported sightings due to hypnotism and bad whiskey.
I'm a master of metaphysics, Dr. E. Stewart.
Let's
at your
ask him what
service.
he thinks. Yeah, it's just hypnotism and bad whiskey.
I can get you guys to see an
You
airship
guys
right
want to
now.
listen to a lecture?
I got a brand new CD, Near My God to Thee.
When questioned about the feasibility of manned flight, an aeronautical authority in Dallas was asked if he had seen the ship. "I have not," he asserted. "I don't drink and never come downtown after dark."
That's a good.
Just wraps it up right there.
Yeah.
There was speculation from several sources that the sightings were the first in the series of events heralding the final days of Earth as prophesied in the Bible.
That's always
Always the thing.
a great explanation.
Yeah.
Every
That's the end of the world. isn't it?
every generation.
I believe it's the prophet Josias that said
Let me tell you what. In the
there are
world's
going to be
coming.
airships in the sky
They told me when I was little.
when you got a beam in your eye. I think that was in scripture somewhere.
That was an Exodus. Could have been Proverbs. I don't know.
It's one of the books we don't
One of
have.
those
Not in the canon.
Might have been a Song of Solomon. Don't read that
Airships
one
in the
much.
sky, beam in your eye.
Guy
Don't ask me what it is.
ain't got shorts on his thigh.
Naked women, you're going to be a sinning. It's in Psalms.
Proverbs 21:19.
Brethren.
Brother, run. Let's go. Run, everybody, run. That's coming, Frogman with the bat wings. Whistling at the train.
Yeah. John the Beloved said once, "Bat wings on a kite, never take flight."
Don't go out at night. Drink whiskey, make you fright.
Yep, that's in there somewhere.
That's
John
it.
16.
I love how the Bible like rhymes everything now. It's like a one long poem.
It all just blends in there.
Yeah.
Of course, Texans always have to one-up each other, and the airship craze provided a perfect setting.
Yeah.
In Hill County, 2 farmers near Abbott did not see an airship, but they did witness a man and 6 boys float from out of the sky. They drifted down as easily as gracefully as birds alighting until within a few feet of the ground, about 50 yards from us, where they remained stationary a few seconds and ascended into heaven out of sight.
Good
We didn't
gracious.
see the ship. We saw them come down, though. Sure did.
Floating people.
Is that right, Clark?
She's a beaut, Clark.
In late 1912 and 13, people all over Britain reported seeing airships in the night sky, yet there were none. It was widely assumed that these phantom airships were German Zeppelins.
'Twas nothing but phantom airships.
Testing British defenses in preparation for the next war. The public and press responses to the phantom airship sightings provide a glimpse of the way that aerial warfare was understood before it was ever experienced in Britain. Yeah, so
That makes sense.
yeah, conservative newspapers and patriotic leagues use the sightings to argue for a massive expansion of Britain's aerial forces. Got a bunch of airships coming, which was perceived to be completely outclassed by Germany's in both number and power.
Yeah.
In many ways, this airship panic was analogous to the much better known 1909 Dreadnought panic.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one well.
The result was the perfect Edwardian panic. The simultaneous. Have you even looked at any of that stuff?
No, I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, the simultaneous
Write it
culmination
down.
of older fears about Germany and the threat of espionage, invasion, and above all, the loss of Britain's naval superiority. So they're freaked out that they're going to control the air too.
Yeah.
With these airships. So
Crazy.
there you go. So not only in the United States, in Sacramento area,
Yeah.
but
It was all
across
over the
world,
world.
people are freaking out about airships and stuff.
You know what people are freaking out about right now? The off-the-grid surplus
They
over
sure
and out
are.
hybrid shorts. Have you seen these, Cam? Good
I want some.
Lord, you've got to listen.
Off the grid, I want some.
Please send them. We need some right now.
I want to try them out.
A hybrid short tailored for the off-the-grid lifestyle, Cam.
Yeah.
You, Cam, you are an adventurer who needs your gear
yeah.
to keep up with your lifestyle. That's why Off the Grid Surplus made the over and out hybrid short. From the trail to the water, you don't always want to worry about being prepared with a dedicated swim trunk. Dude, just put on your shorts and jump in the water. It doesn't matter.
That's awesome.
Come out of the water. Doesn't matter. Wear them all day. Doesn't matter. Sporting a nylon spandex blend.
Shower with them on.
Doesn't matter.
No.
This fabric will blow your mind by being lightweight and protecting against tears, scuffs, and abrasions. 4-way stretch fabric, crotch gusset, which we love. These shorts are versatile. They're stylish. As always, you get their EDC-friendly 8-pocket system and increased belt loop height. Subtle, but very functional. All right, from the beach to the campsite to a warm night on the town, these are the only shorts you need.
It's true.
Dude, I want these.
I do too.
I want them on my body.
We have the, hideout? No.
I don't
Havoc?
remember. Yeah, I think it's the Havoc.
Man, they're so nice.
Yeah, so these
Don't
are
wear any of their shorts.
over and out hybrid shorts. Go check them out.
I'm sure it's similar material.
Yeah. Check out their site, offthegridsurplus.com. Use our code CASUALPREPPERS15. You get 15% off. That's a great deal.
Yeah.
Great deal. So, Cam, let's try and explain what's going on
Yeah,
here.
where did these come from?
Yeah, so during the 1896-1897 wave, there were many attempts to explain the airship sightings, including suggestions like we've talked about, hoaxes, pranks, bulldog pranks, apparently, publicity stunts, hallucinations. Yeah. One man suggested the airships were swarms of lightning beetles misidentified by observers. Lightning beetles. I didn't even know those existed.
They don't.
I'm pretty sure those were lightning beetles.
You mean lightning bug.
Lightning beetles don't exist. These guys had too much whiskey.
All right, head home.
It's time to go home. You good to drive your buggy back? Do you need a ride? Give me those keys. Jacobs believes that many airship tales originated with enterprising reporters perpetuating journalistic hoaxes. So this is what we were talking about earlier. He notes that many of these accounts are easy to identify because of their tongue-in-cheek tone and accent on the sensational. Furthermore, in many such newspaper hoaxes, the author makes his intent obvious by saying in the last line that he was writing from an insane asylum or something to that effect, which would be a great thing to hear at the end of your article.
Yeah.
Another article said journalistic hoaxes, even in the largest newspapers, were standard fare. Readers were expected to guess about which stories were true and about which were fictional. Almost every small town had a liar club where tales were swapped. Dude, I wish they had liar clubs now. Oh, they do. It's called Congress. But no, can you think about like going to a lie? Like all you did was go and lie.
Yeah.
And just like say a bunch of dumb crap.
Yeah. Just do whatever. There's no repercussion.
Yeah. It'd be kind of fun, right?
That would be really fun.
In addition, as today, practical jokers did not hesitate to send balloons lighted with candles into the sky or kites with lanterns if they thought they could put one over on the public. Others may have created crash sites complete with debris. One newspaper, the Peoria Transcript, sent up lighted colored paper balloons to test people's imaginations. And a number of airship sightings were the result of that, of course.
Let's see what comes of this.
Yeah.
Let's see what
do you think is going to happen?
Information we're going to get.
Yeah.
We need a story. What should we do? We'll just float something up in the sky and see what happens.
Yeah.
That's true. That's going to probably trigger a lot of...
Yeah.
I've seen stuff just here in Vernal, like floating. I'm like, what is that?
Dude, I have too.
I like, it just looks like almost like a balloon, but it has the shape, like a different shape than anything
I
I've ever
saw
seen.
one day, and I tried to get a picture of it. Like, this is like a typical sighting, but my camera wouldn't focus on it because it was like up in the air.
Yeah.
But it was like a dark spot, kind of like roundish, but a little flat, just like floating. Probably a couple hundred feet
was
near.
this?
This was maybe 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 3 years
Because
ago.
this year I saw something like, we went to like laser tag, and before we went in, I was like trying to figure out what it was. Because I was like, is that a hot air balloon? But it was too small and it didn't have a basket on it. But it was...
Was it naked people?
Yeah. And there's two guys pedaling the bike on the bottom.
They were singing. Yeah.
Super weird. But it was weird because like for the distance, for how far away it was, like the clarity of like a regular balloon wouldn't have been that good. So I was like, what is that?
How many rods away do you think it was?
Oh, man. Easy a 30 rod.
Good 30 rod distance, probably.
Yeah. And then 10 feet up, 14 meters over.
Yeah, that makes sense. How many inches, though, from the ground?
Yeah. I didn't throw that in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen some weird stuff in the sky. It makes you wonder. So back then, probably blew their minds when anything was up in the sky.
For sure.
Human airships. Some argued that the airships reported were genuine accounts.
Okay.
Steerable airships had been publicly flown in the U.S. since the Aeron in 1863.
Aeron.
The Aeron. And numerous inventors were working on airships and aircraft designs. The idea that a secretive inventor might have developed a viable craft and advanced capabilities with the focus of Jules Verne's 1886 novel, Rover the Conqueror. Yeah, anyway. In fact, two French army officers and engineers, Arthur Krebs and Charles Renard, had successfully flown in an electric-powered airship called La France as early as 1884, making no fewer than 7 successful flights in the craft over an 11-month period. So they were there and around, and there were people working on them privately.
Arthur Krebs, Charles Renard, flying in the sky.
Arthur, come look at this. Charles, this is very good.
So we go to Havana.
The Americans will be very confused. That was weird.
That sounded like almost German or something for a second.
And during the 1896-97 period, David Schwartz, he has the Schwartz, built an aluminum-skinned airship in Germany that successfully flew over the Tempelhof field before being irreparably damaged. I've seen pictures of this one.
Really?
It's got like a weird nose on it, but it just looks like a blimp. So, reports of capabilities of the California and Midwest airships cited in 1896 are true. It would have been considerably more advanced than the airships built up to that time.
Yeah.
So maybe it was some private builders. Who knows? The 1884 Krebs and Renard first fully controllable free flights with the La France electric dirigible near Paris. Several individuals like Lyman Gilmore and Charles Delchamps were later identified as possible candidates for being involved in the design and construction of airships, although little evidence was found in support of these ideas. So, during that time, airships were kind of popular.
Yeah.
And they
were a thing.
actually being flown. So not airships like the ones that we're explaining. But
so here's what I'm going with. How about just extraterrestrials? This is the funnest.
Easy.
This is exactly what happened. So early sources citing the extraterrestrial hypothesis, all from 1897, include the Washington Times, which speculated that the airships were a reconnoitering party from Mars. Of course. Just put it down, write it, put it in ink. They're from Mars.
Yeah, it's always Mars.
Yeah, and the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, which suggested of the airships, these may be visitors from Mars, fearful at the last of invading the planet they have been seeking. Interesting.
We want that planet.
This planet will be ours. We are from Mars.
We love the German people the most.
We are from Mars. This planet will be ours. Proverbs 21.
Airship.
Get to the airship.
Everybody get to the airship.
It's always that. In 1909, a letter printed in the Otago Daily Times from New Zealand suggested that the mystery airship sightings then being reported in that country were due to Martian atomic-powered spaceships.
Okay.
This is crazy how, like, Mars was the...
it's always Mars.
Was, like, the focus. You know what I mean? It's just really funny. Another culprit is the planet Venus. Yeah. This was my favorite.
Yeah, that ain't from Mars. That's from Venus.
Now, that ain't no airship. That's a planet, you idiot.
Oh, yeah, that's right. A lot of people are like,
yeah,
these dummies are just looking at planet Venus.
They're just looking at the sky.
Which makes no sense to me.
I know.
I see planets like all the time.
Every
on the way
day.
to work. I look at a planet.
I'm on one all the time.
Well, it's like not ever have one of those been. I'm like, oh, that's a bright star.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's a planet.
Is that a
but
UFO?
not like that is guaranteed to be a UFO.
Yeah, so
doesn't move hardly at all.
Apparently, at the time the sighting started, it was really prominent in the sky.
Oh.
You know how Venus can be really bright. It can. When the sighting stopped, it was becoming increasingly less visible. I just don't know how you see a star and
that
then...
spotlight's right at me.
Oh, my gosh, I see a naked lady, naked guy. What is it?
Yeah.
I just...
Get your heifers.
Get your heifers.
Honey, go get the heifers back in.
Yeah, get that pranky bulldog. Get him by my side. Heel, buddy, heel.
Where's that Houdini? That little son of a...
That little son of a beat.
Tricking everybody in town.
Probably going to jump out to scare me
He's probably
any minute.
flying in an airship right now.
Ah, Venus. Hate it. So anyways, that was another one, but that's stupid.
Yeah.
Ask me.
I agree.
That's not a good one.
But that one's super stupid.
So that's it. That's the gentleman's UFO.
I like to visualize like how those would have looked.
Yeah.
Like, I totally picture like the steampunk looking stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
But I love it's like if that was the same alien technology, boy, have they made way more advances than we have.
I know.
Jump from these little airships to like super lightning fast UFOs.
The gravity defying.
We have done poorly in our
UAPs.
advancement.
Yeah.
So,
all right, so we got a few things we want to talk about. The number one thing is the Blackbeard fire starters.
Yeah, Blackbeard.
So these are cool. These are brand new fire plugs. Cam says you put these in your ear. And that's good.
That's good.
That's good.
You can travel with them in your ear.
I can't wait to try these out because their other fire starters are great.
They make really good stuff.
We actually have a link.
You can tell this is going to give you a ton of
100 years of fire.
Seriously.
Pretty sure.
Because if you just break a piece off and fray it, man, you're going to be burning like crazy.
So we actually have a Blackbeard Fire link that gives you 10% off. So if you want to check out the link in all of our bios in Instagram and Facebook and everything, you can go there and you're going to get a nice little discount.
Even better, they're scentless.
Yeah.
I love the non-smelly stuff.
Me too.
I hate when you're like, well, that smells like pure gasoline.
Yeah. The other one, we got Bastion Gear sent us a knife, you guys, to check out.
Thank you, Bastion.
Yeah, no kidding.
Bastion?
The Bastion. They're French.
This is a freaking beast.
Yeah, what's that one called? I forget. The
It's a
Brasa?
knife.
Sharp is sharp.
It's called a knife. This is the Brasa.
Brasa.
Man, it's got some good weight to it.
Yeah, pretty excited about
They
that.
build really good knives. Like
They really do.
Often I carry a Bastion because
I do too.
It's such a nice flipper. Like, ooh,
gosh.
one of the best I've ever felt.
Feels good.
Built out of Airship material.
Mm-hmm. Canvas.
Pure heifer leather.
2-year-old aged heifer lever.
Yeah.
That's right. We got the latest battle box as well. Mission 90. Good gosh.
Wow, really?
90.
That's crazy.
First item in a box. Atwood rope mini tiered turd micro cord dispenser.
Mighty turd. I actually I have another one of these.
Are you lying?
Use it all the time. No, I ain't lying.
I got one too.
Put that in your newspaper. No,
Quote me on it.
It's super nice because
CP Hardy.
you know what I use it most for? Tying a tarp down when I taking stuff to the dump.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I like that. But the little dispenser's awesome.
It is kind of cool.
And you can't slice your finger open like some of the others.
I know. Then we got the Charlotte's Web Custom Camp Organizer. And say you had it in your hand just barely.
Did I?
Yep, you put it down.
Wait.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Charlotte's webbing.
Yeah, there you go.
I thought you just said Camp Organ.
Nope.
That'd be so sweet. Keep your music going.
Yeah. Then we got the Toadfish 10-ounce rocks tumbler. Pretty cool. Yeah, like you can't spill it.
Oh, is it this one?
Yeah, you can't spill it.
No, it's the same brand.
It is the same brand, but that's the tumbler.
Look at this. I just put it on there if you're watching the video.
Yeah.
Knock
Can't
it
spill
over.
it.
That is way
That's
cool.
great for like a boat.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
Or an airship.
Or an airship. 100%.
Think right. Don't worry. I got toadfish.
I got toadfish. We can go all the way to Mars in this bad boy, and I'll still have a cold drink.
You get in that zero gravity, you lose your cups all the time.
Yeah, my Pepsi's all over the place. Then we got the Pure Bag and P&G combo.
There it is.
Great for water.
Yeah.
Makes
I
you
actually do like these little collapsible bags.
They're cool.
I use one to fill. We have a little air conditioner swamp cooler thing, and I use our collapsible water container. So there's another one. That'll be great.
That's cool. Then we got the Toadfish Stowaway Fillet System. This is cool. So it has a folding fillet knife, which is cool. Then it has a cutting board, and then a case that goes around
Oh,
it.
that's the knife. Huh?
Yeah, and it all comes together in
That's
one
cool.
beautiful little package.
And a sharpener?
No sharpener. But it has the knife, it has the case, and it has the board.
That's a sharpener right there.
Oh, does it? Oh, that's cool. I
It's
didn't know
built
that.
into the board.
That's pretty cool.
Didn't even mention that.
Yeah, they don't even put that on there.
Stowaway cutting board. That's
Yeah.
pretty freaking cool.
That is cool. And then the last item, which is a sweet little EDC knife, is the Summit Knife Co. Mount Olympus folder. It has just got these really cool, like they're almost like brass hardware on it, which to me is just always sexy.
Oh,
A great
I do
little
like-
gentleman's folder.
I
you
do
know?
like the brass.
Yeah.
This is a steampunk knife if I've ever
Yeah,
seen one.
that's an Airship EDC if I ever saw one.
That is.
You know?
Man, that is good looking.
Yeah, it's a great looking knife. And it's like a good size. For an EDC, this is the size
It's
I
pretty
prefer.
sleek. It didn't have a bunch of
Yeah.
protruding.
The only thing I
pieces.
don't is I like to have a flipper on them. And I know it's got the thumb
I like the flipper too.
that I like a flipper.
But that's good looking.
Yeah. That's the latest battle box. Use our code Casual
What's this
Preppers.
that's in there?
That's
oh,
the
it's part of
case.
the
That's the case for
toadfish
it.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they're pretty good at finding stuff you would never think of.
Absolutely.
Like I would never think of a foldable.
You wouldn't.
Foldable thingy.
You wouldn't in a million years.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
You
you
never
ain't
will.
smart enough to come up with that.
You're
stuff.
not going to do it. You're going to have them do it. So.
That's truth.
That's all we got today, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't hit subscribe yet, just get off your lazy butt and go just hit subscribe. You already took your
I'm
headphones
done.
off.
I'm out of here.
You're done. All right, guys. Thanks, and stay survived.